it's normally stories that come with that. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, sometimes you just remember some good shit. Welcome to the Bottom of the Bottom podcast.
Time it is, man. Look, it is the Bottom of the Bottom show. I am Jay Walker the third. That's my brother, my partner, my co-host. Carolina Dirt 803. What's good with you, player?
Man, I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. I cut the grass today, bro. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's the life we live, man, until we can get to the life we want.
I'm like, damn, man, I don't even want no grass. Like I said, I like grass after it's cut when somebody else cut it.
Okay, there you go.
I don't care about cutting, man. Man, I was bro. I was tired. Everything was wet, bro. Everything. I had sweat dripping everywhere. And it had just rained.
About to say, it only been raining all week, so cutting grass ain't been no fun, man. But on some real shit, that's just like I said, it's the life we live. We hustle for these moments, and it's the weekend now, so we can act like we ain't got a job for at least 2 days.
48 hours.
So it feel like Sunday afternoon already.
Yeah. You work 48 hours in a week to have what's that? Oh,
you work 40 hours.
40 hours to have 48 hours.
To have 16. Boy, look, I told you about doing math on this show.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to do math live. You ain't supposed to my homeboy said, don't do math while you live. You right. I need a calculator.
Man, but look, this is the Friday, Facts on Friday episode, man. We have a returning guest, something near dear to our hearts, and it should be to the community as well, man, as we struggle and strive to be better so that we don't have to work these 40 hours a week for the rest of our doggone life. Or if you do, it's because you choose to.
Choose to because you choose to.
Right. So go ahead and bring our guests in and let us know. You know they returning, or half of them are returning, and the other half is new to the show. Miss Jackie J, how are you?
Hey, you guys, how are y'all?
Doing very well, doing very well. You want to introduce the other gentleman in the building today?
I can do that. I am being joined by my better half,
all right.
Mr. Derek Johnson. Right. And for some, he is known as P. So that's what he's known as. But I drug him along tonight, and so I told him he's gonna have a good time with us, and we're gonna share with the people and do what we do.
Absolutely.
He didn't want to mess with us. He wanted to watch the draft. He didn't want to be on here tonight. You drugged that man. That man probably want to sit here reclining.
Oh man, I'm learning. Wherever she say go, I'm going.
Absolutely. The good ones tend to lead us in the right direction.
Yeah, that's right.
We got a saying: "Stick with me, kid. I'll take you places."
I know that's right.
Yes.
So I'm the kid, so you know.
And you need to take me places. So we interchange that.
That's what we do.
Absolutely. Well, welcome Derek to the Bottom of the Bottom, man. This is real laid back. Me and my brother gonna have a couple cocktails. I don't know if y'all have any libation, but you're welcome to participate. But I know y'all got things going on.
If we start drinking, we might go to sleep. So we're gonna let y'all.
Well, you know that's generally the goal. Nobody knows what happens when we turn this off.
Yes. Yeah.
But we so tired from this week. We might go to sleep on you.
Hey man, look, it has been a week, man, and while we out here struggling and striving to, hustle and stay alive, man, we got people that want to go into little Lego submersibles and go visit the Titanic, man.
Yeah.
How did y'all feel about that story?
This is what I said. Now, everybody just can't be stupid. And I ain't mean to say it that bad, but come on. I mean, how long the Titanic been down at the bottom of the ocean?
Down.
Long enough for them to make a movie about it and the movie to be old.
Yes. Listen. You can go to the museum, wherever the museum is, and see what you need to see, but you did not need to get in that little old capsule.
Reliving the moment.
Reliving the moment to go down.
2.5 miles underneath the ocean.
Yes.
Hey, y'all ever thought about this? And I was just thinking about it just now when he said how deep that thing is, right? You know how much dangerous stuff float on top of the water?
Man, listen. Hey, listen. I'm trying to live. Even with the struggle, I'm still trying to live.
I think about, we always have the, if I had this amount of money, and going in the ocean 2 miles deep has never crossed my mind.
Never.
Man, listen. Some things you just don't do.
Absolutely, man. I want to be there, like, when you're around intelligent people or wealthy people, you want to pull it and see if you can gain something. And I'm trying to figure out why the Titanic.
Man, listen.
Why? I don't even know. That's when you just have too much money and
I
you
think so.
just don't know what to do with it.
Hey, this is all you can do.
Is get in a little capsule. That's what I call it.
Like you might have had me sold up until the point that I got to the little submarine, and you told me I had to sit Indian style, knee to knee with somebody else.
And no food, right? Did they have food?
They didn't have no bathroom.
They didn't have
food.
Ooh, no.
They had a little bathroom. I heard they had a little bathroom.
Like what you call it, a bedpan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, something like it.
And one of the wild things that I just thought about is, why didn't you tally this thing to something?
Yes.
Why wasn't it on like a winch or something?
Yes. So somebody could pull it, right? Yeah.
It's just wild. And I don't know. I don't want to go to Mars, and I don't want to go to the deep ocean.
Somebody said they might be alive. It's one of the guys was a billionaire. No, you can't be that basic.
Dead, didn't they?
Imploding means
yes.
But where the body at? You gotta have DNA. You gotta pull that up and bring DNA. Because the billionaire had a stepson. The stepson said he had $10 to his name. He ain't want to give him no money.
Wow.
I'm just saying, I'm making up stuff now. But he do got a stepson. He do got a stepson. His stepson was called out for being at a concert. His stepson was at I forgot what concert it was, like at a rock concert during this time. And he was like, people coming at me, but he got all the money. I ain't got but $10 in my pocket. They were like, why are you at a concert?
That's
beside the point. Trying to get away from his mama.
Now that's the conspiracy. So what if they just was just like, you know what? This is a good way for us to just disappear.
All I say is you had all that money. You could have built and went down deeper in a bigger capsule.
It looked like something that you put together.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It looked like something that would come to you from IKEA.
Yes.
You could order it off of Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah, you could have built your own rocket ship to go to the, to go down instead of up.
You got enough money for that.
I was bugging because the navigation system was literally like a PS5 controller.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I like to hit the news cycle, and that's just one of the things, of course, that stood out to me, and that was just mind-boggling. So while we dream of being millionaires and think of all the things that we want to do with this newfound money, that's why you guys are here. Now, before we get to that, we are going to do our traditional thing, which is first call.
Yes.
You want Jackie or you want Derek?
Oh, man. I'll take Derek. I'll take Derek.
Hope I'll disappoint you.
All right. Now, it's your wife is going to get 5 questions. You're going to get 5 questions. Ain't no right or wrong answer. It's just how you feel in the moment.
All right.
So, Jackie, and she gonna get her 5, and then you gonna get your 5.
Okay.
Bigger fear, insects or reptiles?
Reptiles.
Okay. I say insects because you don't never see them coming.
But I figure I could step on them.
True that.
Reptile.
True that.
Yes.
I'm gonna come back to that in a second because I heard a fact this week that disturbed me greatly. Fear of Heights or fear of enclosed spaces?
Both. Listen, you don't even want to know the story. Both.
Both. Okay. Fast cars or big trucks?
Ooh. I used to say fast cars, but I'm in Alabama now, so I kind of like the big truck.
Big
Okay.
truck.
Yeah. You can sit high, see what's coming, roll over some stuff, that kind of thing.
It's the mirrors, man. I drive a truck, and it's the side view mirrors
you can see
that are the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Any amount of money, you don't have no worries, you don't have no time constraints. Where do you want to visit on the globe?
Ooh.
The Titanic.
Hell nah.
It's gone.
We just covered that.
I want something present. I need something now. What was that place I said I saw I wanted to take you for your birthday? I cannot remember.
Dubai.
No, it wasn't Dubai. It was a little island.
Right,
but I don't remember. It was this island, and that you got to take a little crop duster to get there. And then when you get to the island, you still got to take this little boat, and all of the rooms are floating on water. It is so pretty.
I've seen pictures of that, and that's dope. Until you said the crop duster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the crop duster killed it. Like I'm good.
If I could get past the crop duster to get there, I'm cool with the water and being floating and all that. I just can't remember the name of the island. I don't remember.
I've been on a plane with a propeller. It is not the same as a jetliner.
It is not.
My final question: if you could get advice right now today from anybody dead or alive, who would you go to?
Ooh. You know who I'd like to meet and get advice from is Viola Davis. Because she's done some things lately, some movies she's played in and different things. And just to see, like I've seen her, Oprah interview her, but I would want to have some one-on-one time. Viola Davis. Yeah.
Just because you said that. One of her most enlightening interviews. Have you ever heard of Hot Ones?
Hot
Ones is an interview show. It's like an internet show. You can pull it up on YouTube. But basically, there's a host and a guest. Viola Davis was a guest. And they literally eat 10 hot wings. From weak hot sauce to the hottest of the hot sauce. It is literally all of the interviews are great because the hot sauce makes them forget who they are.
I'm sure.
It takes the celebrity right out of them. So just something for you. If you sitting somewhere, check that out.
Okay.
But that's my 5.
All right. Awesome.
All right, Derek. My question will be a little different now.
A lot different. He's special.
A lot different. All right. The worst meal Jackie ever cooked.
He just said happy wife, happy life.
What's the worst?
Ooh, the worst she ever cooked.
Yeah.
Well, she fixed it from the store, but Salisbury steak, she grabbed the wrong brand. Man, that tastes like some serious dog food.
I'm about to say, Salisbury steak pretty hard to deal with anyway.
It was.
We need a quick meal.
Quick meal. What you mean?
We needed
quick. Man, listen. And she was adamant about eating it, which I don't understand why she was about eating. So I couldn't say I don't want this.
Right.
We tried.
But we talked about it probably about 2 weeks later. I was like,
that's how it be.
Don't ever.
You got to stay in the moment, and then you got to have a come to Jesus. Don't you do that no more.
I've learned because she probably would have gave me the business over it.
Hey, I got off work. I worked hard. I was trying to get him some food.
Food.
That was the wrong food, though.
Yeah.
All right. In their environment, more scared, eye to eye with a shark or eye to eye with an alligator?
Oh man.
In their
environment. I'd rather be eye to eye with an alligator, possibly. Yeah, alligator.
Ain't no wins.
Eye to eye with alligator? Yeah, ain't no wins.
It ain't no wins either way, but I mean, because in a shark environment in the water, you through dealing versus the same thing. I mean, yeah.
You might be able to punch that shark in the nose. They say if you punch a shark in the nose, it'll swim away. I don't think it's nothing you could do with 2 hands and an alligator.
You're right. Okay. That's it. You better be strong. You better be strong as
All
hell.
right.
You better play
I say
Samson.
lost in the desert. Lost in the desert or lost in like the rainforest.
Ooh, man. I think I'd rather be lost in the rainforest.
At least you got water, right?
Yeah, at least I got water. Not the desert.
All right. Favorite cereal growing up?
Ooh, Honey Smacks.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
wow. I love them joints.
My pops love them.
Honey Smacks.
Yeah.
I couldn't do the Frosted Flakes. Got too soggy. Rice Krispies. Right. Too soggy.
Nothing gets more soggy than Sugar Smacks.
Yeah.
You must have been smacking
Smacking
it.
them. Smacking them. They wasn't giving them a chance.
Okay.
And I say my last one. Your favorite action hero?
Oh man. Captain America.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Captain America.
Well, that's first call.
All right.
Mm.
That was good. Captain America. That's a good one.
After the first movie was so slow.
Man,
Yeah,
listen.
I didn't think they was gonna survive it.
But they managed, man. They came on back through.
Oh yeah, Winter Soldier, Civil War made you forget about the first one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So for the people that don't know, that might be tuning in for the first time, it's Jackie J, Derek J. Tell us about yourself.
Here we go.
Yeah, you go.
So I am Jackie J, and I have been on with you guys a couple of times. My background is finance, and so I love to come on and share with the people on how to live a better financial life so we can stop struggling. We have a blended family. We have 3 children, 21-year-old and that's in college down in Miami. We got one that's 17 that's getting ready to go to college in August. And then we have another 17-year-old that lives in Florida with his mom. So, be a senior this year coming. So we stay pretty busy, working all the time. I also do a lot of speaking to women because that's my passion, loving to empower and equip women to be strong and fierce and go get what they want. And so, I always tell them start small, but win big and don't be afraid to have a seat at the table. So that's kind of my history. And then Derek and I together are fighting this financial journey because he's a little different with his finances than I am. So we said we could share some of that with y'all tonight. What you want to share, baby?
Absolutely. Y'all got to be with it. 2 kids in college and 1 on the way.
Yeah.
So
you a boy. You will be hitting a brick wall every time. Every time.
Definitely. So Derek, as far as you, how did you meet this lovely lady, and what made you be like, you know what? Yeah.
Man,
It wasn't a Salisbury steak.
Craziest thing, man. We met in church.
Okay.
Yeah, we met in church. I'm a pastor.
Okay.
I don't have a congregation since we moved from Florida to Alabama, but I serve as associate pastor at my church now. But once you become a pastor, you're always a pastor, pretty much.
Absolutely. Let me tuck all my liquor away. My bad.
Oh no, man.
Yeah.
No. And it's cool that we, that y'all invited me on. I didn't know until the latter part of this evening what we were going to talk about. But I think that's one of the things that really strengthened our relationship. Me being who I am, my background, hers. We come from 2 different walks of life, and we've been able to just kind of make them work together.
Absolutely.
It's been some work because a lot of times in my world, we are it's unlearned behavior in a lot of areas, and the church just didn't teach us right. So what I have learned financially, just they didn't keep. They taught us what they wanted us to know, even though you should have a relationship with God, that kind of thing. But when that's all you know, that's all you come up on. It's like you take it all you take it all for what it's worth.
Right.
It's not till you hook up with somebody like I did, my wife, that has been through every walk of life there is, that I realize how unlearned I have been throughout my life. So for me, it's been hard to just, try to be retaught and all that kind of stuff, because I've been set in my ways. But the where she's going, if you'd be deaf, dumb, blind, and dishonest with yourself to not link up and go with her. So it just, like I said, it hadn't been easy, but it's been worth it. And so so
it's one of the things that my brother always say. Like, we come from a generation of get a job, go to work, save your money.
Right.
But that's where the conversation stopped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So nowadays we have different levels of knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we know that there's always more to learn. So as far as when you guys found each other, is that kind of where you were? Just like go to work, make an honest living, try to save 2 pennies.
Man, listen, it wasn't go to work. It was go to church, because that was work.
Okay.
Ministry has been my life ever since I was 20.
Okay.
So I straight out of high school, my dad hired me at the church. He was a pastor. He hired me to be his right hand person, and that's it. I've been doing it for that long, and it's always been about how God's gonna bless you based on what you do for Him. And don't get me wrong, you can't outbeat God given no matter how hard you try, and you're just always gonna be good with God. But there's some planning, there's some other things that you gotta learn that you gotta do. You ain't gonna just stumble up on a lottery ticket. Nobody ain't gonna just give you something. You understand what I'm saying? And your good works ain't gonna just make you a millionaire.
Hey, look, I should have been there.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
to summarize, was he financially astute? Absolutely
not. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And even and y'all have heard my story, and I've been on that roller coaster and all of those things, but I've learned, and because of what I do, it now makes it easier. And so the roller coaster, for not just me, but for us, I believe has stopped. We are now just on a continued upward climb, because we're now kind of connected and understand together what we need to do. But initially we weren't on the same page.
And so in that, because some bad choices have been made still in my wanting to do it my way. I got you have to work through those bad decisions and choices. And so
for sure.
We're now on the upward climb, and we're trying to do everything the best we can together. And that's what that's what makes us better, man. That's really
so I wanted to ask, because I know, Jack, I told you asked me what you want to talk about today, and I kind of mentioned like investing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're on that roller coaster and you need to save, but then you also need to invest in your future.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's that thought process like for the people that's struggling, that told you their story, and as far as your thought process and how to get there? Because you can save your money, but you got to save your money for the future. But to save your money to invest, it's kind of like having extra money.
Right. It is.
Or forgetting about it altogether.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of times, the first thought is that's not going to happen because I don't have it to do any of that. Mm-hmm. Right. And so what I try to instill, and there's others out there that we're really trying to get this story and get people to understand, is you have to start somewhere. Because the reason a lot of times you're in a bad predicament is because you never saved from the beginning, right? Or you may have saved from the beginning, but now you've hit a wall and you had to use some of those funds to get you over, right? But then sometimes people forget, like, wait a minute, I did this before and I was able to get out of it because I had a little bit saved. Instead of saying I just need to work and work and work and work, what the question should be is, how do I go from this much saved to now this much saved so that I can continue? Because really, it's hard to say I want to go and see a guy and invest in the stock market and invest in mutual funds and all these things when you got debt, when you don't have any money saved for a rainy day or a short term, something may happen. So there's steps to it. Like, start small, start with, okay, if my tire was to go flat today and then my tire is $250, I don't have to call my mama and them to get $250 to buy a tire, right? So you start there. Yeah, but we've all been there, right? I mean, we've been to that place. And so then you start there, and then you're like, okay, well, now I need to save enough money. Like, and y'all heard me say this before, we live in Alabama. If something was to happen to my family in Florida, how quick can I buy a plane ticket? Or 2 or 3 plane tickets, because there's 3 of us that would have to go.
Right.
So now we're saving that. But so when you get to a threshold, when you got about 3 months of income saved, you might want to start looking at, okay, maybe I need to do a little money market or, a little mutual fund and start there, and then build that money market up to maybe $1,000, take that and then put it in some other type of an investment. So you're constantly building.
So we elementary now. Mm-hmm. So what's money market?
Okay, right. So a month. So you think about it, you got a checking account, right? And depending upon where you bank, most checking accounts do not earn any interest. Okay. Right. So then you have a savings account that is going to earn very little interest. The next level, so checking, savings, money market. Money market might earn, 1%. I think nowadays might be a pretty decent money market. The thing about the money market is you're not locked in. You still, it's a savings vehicle, but it earns you a little bit more than a regular savings account, and you can withdraw it a couple of times. I think you normally get up to like 6 transactions a month or something like that without any penalty. So you got your money market. The next avenue is you got your certificates of deposits or CDs, right? CDs will earn you more than a money market, but it's going to lock your money in for a certain term. You can do 6 months, do a year, you can do 18 months, you can do 24 months. Like right now, we're competing in Tuscaloosa where we live for deposits. And there's some banks, we did this 4% savings account offer to the community. Well, this bank decided, well, we want to come get them funds from y'all, and they offered 5.275%. The difference, they offered 5.275 in a CD, where we offered 4% in a money market. The difference is, if I put $50,000 in there, I can go get that anytime I want. If I lock it in that CD, I can't go get it. So checking, savings, money market, CD. Then you're starting to look at like mutual funds and things like that, stocks, IRAs. That's when that's kind of like the level of
your hierarchy.
Okay. So, like, I got CDs, and it's, I know they're there. I try to forget about them. And there's times I do want to touch them, but then there's times where I look at it and be like, damn, that thing ain't grow yet. Like, I got more change in my pocket now than it's grown. Like, so I know you briefly spoke on the benefits and the disadvantages of CDs. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have nothing, how valuable are CDs? Because you can't touch it, so that kind of puts handcuffs on certain people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would tell you, you should not have a CD unless you have money in a savings account and access to it. Because remember, I keep going back to, what if something happens, right? Now you can access the CD, but you're going to pay a penalty for that. And why, if you ain't got hardly nothing in the CD already, do you want to pay, a penalty to withdraw it? So
Right.
you want to have a little bit, and that's when they call it diversifying your funds. You want to have a little bit of all of those things that I just talked about. That takes time. You grow it, as you grow it. Like your CD, if you say you got 2 CDs and each one of them has $2,000 in it, right? You may want to eventually take one of those CDs and maybe put it in a mutual fund or in an IRA or a Roth IRA. Now remember, once you hit the CDs and you start doing mutual funds, your risk of loss begins to show. So CDs, they're really considered less risk because the only risk you're gonna have of losing it is if you take it out early with penalty. But with everything else, mutual funds, you've got mutual funds, your stocks and all that, those are riskier investments. So they start here and they go up.
So again, we elementary.
Mm-hmm.
IRA, Roth IRA.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference?
So your IRA is basically like for, in your retirement, right? Individual retirement account. So that is where you are literally, you put a certain amount in there, you leave it in there, you can't touch it to your, I think it's now 65. I can't remember the and I should have brushed up on this before I came on here, but I think it's 65 without penalty. The Roth IRA is a little different. The Roth IRA gives you different advantages. Like say for our daughter, we set a Roth, her dad has a Roth IRA. Now that she's going to school, one of the ways that he can withdraw that money without a penalty is because she's going to college. Other things, I think the other one, I think it's still, if the laws haven't changed, if you're buying a house, you can do that with the Roth and not have to incur a penalty. So the difference, and then the Roth IRA, you can start it much smaller, like we do them at our credit union. You got, build up to $1,000, open your Roth IRA. It's great to start. The younger you are, the more, the sooner you start it. So that way, as you're building, you've got what we call compounded interest. And that's why people say, you start at 20, you put $100 away for 10 years, you'll be at $2 million based on the interest rate and that kind of thing, because interest is constantly compounding.
So as far as you, Derek, because she is highly educated, you said you go through your roller coasters. Yeah. So I think me and you see eye to eye. She just
I'm trying to keep up.
You hear me?
Yeah. So what's your?
Go ahead.
No, what were you about to say?
No, go ahead. I'll wait.
So without her help,
Ooh.
or you can say with her help, how do you view saving and investing? Because she's highly educated. So you, as far as you're on the spectrum. Me and my brother. That's what my brother keeps saying, elementary. So how do you take the information that she give you?
Man, listen. Hey, I'm learning. I'm learning to just take. I'm learning to just take what she said as gold.
I'll give you a perfect example. Yeah. So when we moved here, and you'll learn about us. We're very transparent, and we talk because we really believe that that's how people are helped, right?
Absolutely.
So when we moved from Florida. We had been married then for 3 years, 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
And man, it was a struggle, right? He liked to spend money. He just thinks, swipe the card. I
go to the store, I want it, I buy it.
For sure. Listen, it was so bad. Our budget would change. And I tell this story when I speak in public. I said we would have a written budget. And for a while, I couldn't understand, like, why we don't have that much money left at the end of the month like we should, because I know I budgeted the money, because I'm the budgeter, right? If he had to preach somewhere, he feels like I got to go buy a new shirt, a new tie, new cufflinks. I said, look, them jokers don't know that you wore that shirt 2 weeks ago. So I need to go in the house, get that shirt, take it to the cleaners, get it pressed, but wear it again, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I said, well, where the money going, right?
Mm.
So I'm thinking, oh, good. He preaching, we go different places. No, it was not great, y'all.
He's like, hey, baby, I'll be back.
Yeah. Then it got to the point, it was like, he's keep the bags in the car for a couple of days, and the Jordans in the car and all of this. So
it would make it in the house.
Yeah, eventually. When I wasn't there, right?
Right.
So
Right. He's been here.
yeah.
What new shoes? Nobody got no new shoes.
Y'all must be brothers. I wore these. You saw me wear these last week. No, I didn't. They're clean on the bottom, right?
Oh man.
So when we moved here, I told him, I said, listen, when we move, we starting finances over fresh, right? We gonna start over. This is what I said. Stick with me, kid. I'm gonna take you places. Give me a year. We gonna be set, right? And he did. Mm-hmm. And asked him if it was not true. Now he don't shop as much, but he still likes to shop. But now it's different because
you built the cushion.
We built the cushion,
right?
And since we built the cushion, we can do that, And I tell him, I said, but I want to spend money on things where we can make memories. Like we just came from a cruise. Our daughter graduated from high school. We did a cruise just for her, right? That was her gift. Well, the whole family went, but it was mainly about her graduation gift. We had no worries on that cruise, right? We want to buy, we shop, we do whatever. But what did I do before we left? I said, before we get in this car and leave, every single bill will be paid and everything will be taken care of. So it is possible, but it takes discipline.
When did you notice out of that year, Derek, when did you notice that your thought process started to change? Like how long did it take you to believe in the stick with me kid?
Mm-hmm. Oh, when I started seeing money in that account.
You said, wait a minute, that's a comment.
I probably before I met Jackie, I probably never had really been able to save any money worth anything.
Right.
Because I was a firm believer, as fast as you make it, you spend it.
Right.
That was just, and I mean, honestly, before times really got hard. I'm 47, so I don't know how old you all are.
Same group.
Once upon a time, it just never was this hard. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you can go spend money and it just wasn't never like this. So again, because of her walk of life, she was trained. She grew up learning how to do everything. Man,
they're military brats too.
Yeah. So from my background, I'm very one track minded. Like
today is the day.
Today is the day. I live in the moment, but I'm still. I ain't dying. I'm not going nowhere. But
right.
My mind, because I know God, everything is gonna work out just fine for me. That's it, and that's how I believe. I still believe that.
You can't tell the bill man that. You can't tell
exactly.
the bill man.
You can't tell the bill man that. But you got to be realistic about it because you never. Now anything can happen. You can walk in work Monday and they release you and let you go.
Yeah. There you go.
If you don't have some cushion in a savings account, you ass out of gas. That's just real.
I look at it like this. It's like once upon a time, if you had like $50 could last you an entire week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And now $50 is gas money, and depending on what you drive, that might not be all week.
Listen. Yeah.
Well, ramen noodles $2. Just $2 for a pack of ramen noodles now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Eggs $6, bread $4.
In the
like,
grocery store. We literally went to the grocery store.
We went Sunday to cook. She cooked dinner for Father's Day.
And I said, God.
Just one meal for
soul
Sunday.
Food. Now y'all know neck bones ain't that expensive.
They wasn't.
They weren't, but they are now, right? He was like, I want some neck bones. Whole soul food.
What it take to feed? What it take to feed 4 people in a restaurant? Even if you go to the store to try to buy it, it's just It's
almost the same.
more.
Mhm.
It's probably more.
Yeah, depends.
It's
Right.
I was saying that. I was just saying
It is.
that.
It's
I
ridiculous.
was just.
This morning, where we are in the economy, and this is what I said when we were on last time, and I don't know if y'all remember this. We were talking about what is to come,
Right.
and we were in a meeting the other day with some economists, and they were talking to us again, and inflation and the recession. Well, inflation is here, but the recession, and we keep saying it's coming. It will be here by the end of the year. And how long will it lead into? And the problem with that is, with inflation and recession, things are going to cost even more. And if we are not, I have never wanted to live on 3 or 4 acres of land ever in my life. But right now I'm like, let me get an acre and learn how to plant some corn and you think we went to, they're gone down now, but we went to Sam's to get eggs.
Oh man.
Because I saw them at Publix and they were $12 for a dozen.
That's ridiculous.
And I said, so now I know the little boy, his mom works with me. And he said, I got eggs, Miss Jackie. You want to buy some? Look, yep, give me them brown eggs. I'm finna buy them. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we have to prepare for what is to come.
This is the part, truthfully, that I'm having to wrap my mind around now. This next what's to come.
Right.
We made it through COVID. We made it through the all of the pandemic and what went along with that. But now this next wave is just like, and again, man, I'm a provider first by any means necessary. Listen, money we're gonna have money to take care of this.
Money's gonna come in.
Yeah, that's what go ahead. What's that?
That's what I wanted to say. Like, especially now, do y'all think people are scared to say, I need help, knowledge-wise with money, and then on that same spectrum, like, they got too much pride. Like you said, by any means you're gonna make money. But McDonald's, all these places are hiring, and there's all these unemployed people, but they're not applying. It's like they're too proud to work in those places. So basically, the knowledge and the steps. So the knowledge, you got to get the knowledge of savings, investing, and all that. But you do have to have the effort in starting somewhere, regardless if it's $12 an hour is nothing now, but back then it was something. But now it's nothing. But Chick-fil-A start off at like $16 an hour, but you got people that don't even
actually McDonald's is paying like $15 here.
But guess what? $15 an hour is
really
no
nothing.
money.
There's no money.
You can't even.
It's nothing, but it's.
If your rent is $1,000, it's nothing.
Yeah,
it's nothing. It's because now we're in a crisis of affordable housing, right? America's in a crisis of affordable housing, especially in the South. For whatever reason, the South now is in a crisis of affordable housing. So if you make $15 an hour in the West, the Black Belt of Alabama, which is the poorest in the nation, right? You barely can still afford a 1-bedroom apartment in this area. That's the crisis. And so what do we do? Because now if you don't have the education to go out and find a better job, then you are stuck in that $15 an hour job.
And you fighting automation because these jobs are going away. You don't even talk to people at McDonald's no more.
Nope. They're going away. When you can just go to McDonald's, order your own food, pick up your own food, do all of those things, it's all going away.
I got a crazy story, real quick. I'm sorry,
No, you're good.
No, Domino's. You know they charge you more for going in and order your food than ordering on the app.
Wow.
I believe it.
The coupon is only online. So let's say you get 2 pizzas, 3 topping for $19.99.
Mm-hmm.
And you go in there and try to order it, they'll say, no, you got to order online to get that discount.
Yep, they will. Yep.
That's crazy. So I literally, not today, this is another time, I walked out and ordered my pizza. I walked out to the car just to order my pizza.
Sat in the car and ordered it online.
But it's crazy. So that's kind of what I'm saying when it comes to lack of knowledge, dude. Some people just not want to admit that they got a problem. Like, I know I got a problem. I'm not as bad as your husband, but I'm bad. I'm not bad as your husband, but I'm bad.
I ain't that way no more.
Oh, my bad. And real quick, Jackie, you talk about memories. You talk about memories, but you remember them Jordans, so that's a memory too. I just want to let you know. You talking about these trips and making memories? You remember them Jordans?
Oh yeah, man. Every pair of ones come out. I gotta have them.
But it's do people need to just say I need help? Basically,
They do. And you know what? And the sad part is it's hard for them to say that because they don't believe that people genuinely want to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And perfect example here. So the Mercedes plant is here, right? Maybe 20 miles up the road from us. That is the only plant that makes that Maybach car, right?
Mm.
And the only plant that makes all of the SUV Mercedes. Only plant. The sad part is we just heard that they are shutting down for 2 weeks because they're saying that there is a supply shortage. Well, all of the surrounding supply companies that supply parts to them is like, they lying because we in overflow. The problem is that people are not buying because every part that they make is already pre-sold, right? And so people are not buying. So the demand for it is not there. Even though they make very good money. I mean, you got 18-year-olds graduating here from high school, going out to Mercedes, making 50 G's, 18 years old.
Right.
The problem is they live paycheck, not even paycheck to paycheck. They live paycheck, I'm broke.
Right.
Right. And so when we had our meeting the other day, I said, what are we going to do for these workers? Because a lot of them bank with us. What are we going to do for them? We need to immediately get on a podcast, send out some social media, telling them the steps. Hey, don't go to these check writing places. Hey, don't, try not to overdraw your account. Don't overspend. And so we were talking about that. And I said, all of that is good, y'all. We can tell them what not to do, but what are we doing to help them? And so we are going to, and I can't say much about it because we haven't finished, but we are going to implement like a small loan program for them so that they stay away from the check writing places. Because once you start that, once you go down that road,
it's a demon.
It's a deep, we call it a demon. It's a deep hole, right? And so, but again, think about, we could have sat there and heard, oh, Mercedes is shutting down. What do we care? Well, guess what? It ultimately affects our business. But we have to start, one, raising our hand saying, hey, I need help. I don't know what you got for me. But then also being disciplined enough to put in the work to do what we say to do. And if you don't do those things, then you're stuck the same place you were before.
It's kind of like, it's the American way, the cycle of, I don't make enough money. I make bad decisions with money. Because I make bad decisions with money, it affects my credit. I got to do what I got to do to get to the next thing. So for a financial institution like yours to even think about something like it, like, how do you find those financial institutions? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. As far as like, that's what's going on in Alabama in your neighborhood. Right. But for people that don't live there, how do they find better banks or better credit unions, understanding interest rates, things like that?
Well, and I say the same thing, you got to look and ask for what you want, right? You're in South Carolina, and I'm sure I can probably name 4 or 5 banks that are there. I don't know the credit unions that are there, but I know some of the banks, major banks. If you go into a bank and they're not offering, and this is Jackie, this is Jackie J, this is not Jackie Johnson who works for Alabama One, and this is me in my life understanding. If you go into a financial institution and they don't have products and services that they are offering to help you, right? Whether it's financial wellness, There's a program called Coffee. There's a program called Green Path. There's a program called something Balance. I can't remember the full name because we don't use that one, but something Balance. If they're not offering that to their customers that are banks or members that are credit unions, you need to find someone that is, because what that is telling you, they don't care about you. That means you can bring your money in and we can take your deposits and we can lend more money, because here's some more knowledge. The way the bank works, the only way they can lend money is that they bring in deposits. Okay. So if your bank is constantly taking people's money and they're not lending to people that look like you and I, or people that are of brown skin, but they want to take your direct deposit because you work every week and they can't offer you different products and services, you need to find another institution. Point blank, period. And then I will say, because I work for the larger banks, I am diehard credit union to my heart now that I've made that switch over. Credit unions by nature were devised for the community. So find you a local credit union. But again, if that credit union doesn't have and offer financial wellness and all these things, and you can't go in there and say, hey, I need someone to help me with my credit. I need to speak with someone about how to stop bouncing checks. If they can't do that, you need to find another institution. Because our buying power as Black people, African American, however we want to put that name on us, if we don't have a voice, they will continue to do what they do. And so I work for one, and I'm telling you that if they don't have the best interest for you, then you need to find someone who does.
I was gonna say, because you spoke on Black folk, and it's something I always talk about. Other races can live 15 in one house, and it's not looked down upon. With the way the economy is going, and y'all saying we're headed to a recession, is that not wise to suck up your pride, to be able to save? You have Indians, they buy one gas station, 8 of them buy one gas station, and then somebody get a gas station, somebody get a gas. Now they got 10 gas stations in 5 miles. Yep. You got Asians that do the same thing, but it seems like Caucasians and Blacks, we have a tendency to say,
not Caucasians.
Some Caucasians,
well,
but
they are doing things together.
Yeah. Together. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, why is it that we haven't said, I need help, let's go in together?
Because we won't get out our own way.
I don't accept that. Well, I don't accept it as it goes just being that.
Back. It goes,
That's what I'm saying.
It goes way back to how they.
I think. I mean,
y'all don't get me on that topic.
But I mean, but you can only think that way for so long. I mean, when you see that it's affecting everybody around you. It's like the change I had to. If number one, I probably was gonna lose my marriage. She wasn't gonna stay. She wasn't gonna stay with me with that mindset. I can say that, and I know it.
You was gonna have all the Jordans and no legs.
All of them.
I would have all the
cufflinks and everything. Yeah, everything.
Right. And the thing, and all, she wasn't saying
nobody to rub his feet on.
She wasn't saying I couldn't have them. It was just. There's other ways that you can do this. Number one, you can only wear one pair of shoes at a time, anyways.
Think so.
That's it. So again, if I wouldn't have got out my own way, look what would have happened. And it's a mindset. It's I can blame it on how I was taught, and
but it does go back.
My dad never taught me any financial. The whole time we were in the church, I'm not blaming him, but it is the truth. But
I mean, I just think that's Black households in general.
Yeah,
yes.
Is not knowing what steps to take.
Exactly. I mean, listen, changing oil in the car, all the things that you should know how to do as a man. I ain't ashamed to say I didn't know because my dad never taught me. And so he taught me how to take it to the car, take it somewhere and pay for it to be done. Pay to get your change.
Over here he's talking about cutting grass.
Yeah, oh man, listen.
It's
not that I can't cut grass, but I'm gonna pay a lot.
Never had to.
I'm gonna pay a lot. I'm gonna pay a lineman. Now when I was 13,
I was doing that for a while. Old lady got on me about that.
Yeah, to teach me responsibilities so I can go make money on the side. But I'm gonna cut my own grass at home first. There's three strong boys in the house, so that kind of thing. But you know you can blame it on that for so long, but then you gotta. It's too much out there that you can educate yourself with. It's.
But you were lucky that we connected. Think about people who, and I'll give another example. When I talked about the housing shortage, we did a seminar not long ago, and these ladies came from the Black Belt, one of the Black Belt areas here, and she said there is 5. And I'm still trying to figure out how there could be 5 generations. There are 5 generations in one housing project in this little old town that ain't got but probably 4,000 people in it, right? In Selma, Alabama. Everybody knows about Selma and know the history and all of that. I went to Selma for the first time a couple of months ago, and 3 generations of families living in the housing projects. The tornado had just hit, so I don't know if y'all follow the news, but the tornado in Selma. 650 houses were destroyed. The sad part about it is those 650 were all rental property from people that don't even live in Selma anymore, right?
Who made money off of the tragedy.
Give me my check. I'm not rebuilding. They didn't take care of it when they had it, and I'm not rebuilding. So you got all of these people now who are displaced, but don't want to go to work, don't want to do anything. But again, no one's come into their community to teach them any better. So if you don't teach it, and think about what you all do on your show. And I know sometimes y'all have a show and y'all clown real hard, and sometimes y'all have a show and it's like this, or educating the people. Most of them are all educating, but you still have a good time. But think if you had another 75 to 150 viewers on here.
Absolutely.
And they said, you know what? I need to find out how I get in touch with Jackie J. And I just want to ask her, how do I start savings? And they just start with $5. Mm-hmm. It is proven that if you can stop one generation and break the poverty level, that family generation will never return to poverty ever again.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's facts. So,
that's it.
So what I do, that's why I love doing what I do. But people, it's hard to get people to hear you. They don't, oh, okay, yeah, it sounds good. Okay, well, here's what you need to do. And then you don't ever hear from them again. So I did
some feel ashamed though.
Huh? What'd you say?
I don't think there's enough shame though. There is shame.
No, I feel. I think there's a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
They feel it, especially when you look at the age. If they got kids, like all their responsibilities, some people feel ashamed. And I hate to say this, they'll come to Derek and ask the Lord to help them before they ask you, knowing you're right there to help them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that's kind of, like I said, I know I have a problem. My old lady done helped us out, many times, and we're still trying to get it straight, but. I know Derek's had people ask him, like, Lord, I need help with these bills. Can you pray to him? But then it's the same thing as, well, you can talk to my wife. Like, we can get that situation.
I got the answer.
We can pray, but I got the answer.
I got the answer. But
Lord, here's the answer. The Lord told me to tell you to go see Jack J.
Right.
And then, it is shame. And that's why I always say, listen, I don't judge you. I done been there, and if I haven't been there, I've helped other people. But you have to put the work in, and it is hard work. It is hard. Sometimes he'll be like, "Hey, let's go here," and I'm like, "Mm-mm." Like I want to go. Like I would love to go every weekend for him and I. We finna be empty nesters to get in the car and go to New Orleans or go here or go here or go here, and it all sounds good. But I'm like, wait a minute, we gonna have two people in college, and we got to figure that out. And now one of them need another car because somebody hit her and totaled the car, and then she asked, "Mom, when you gonna buy me a car?" This morning, girl, ain't buying no car. We gotta figure out how much it's gonna cost you to get in school first, right? And Mom, why can't we get a bigger house? Listen, I don't care about no big house. We don't need no basement. We don't need no 5-bedroom. Well, are we having problems, Mom? Financially, this was our conversation today driving to Birmingham. Mom, we all right financially? I said, yeah, we all right. Why we can't buy no 5-bedroom house? Don't you make a lot of money? I don't make no money. No. No, I don't.
I definitely don't make that.
Look, she asked how many times she asked how much money we make. Mama, you still ain't. And I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because she thinks you just make it to spend it.
Yeah.
And we still. Hey, you got money. Save your money.
And that's the thing. One of the good things about since we've been here, there's not nothing that our kids could need out of all three of them that we can't.
Right.
Now I can't go buy a brand new car for $6,000-$7,000, a used car, or whatever, because she totaled her car. But
we can, we're not.
We can, but we're not.
Right.
And so, but the thing was, for me, I need to make sure I was in a position that we're in a position that we can do for our kids whenever.
For sure.
The way that I used to go, that was never gonna happen.
Right.
So seeing what happened in that first year of us being here, by me just giving my whole paycheck to her, that's what she told me. You go work, give me the paycheck, I'll make sure everything is good, I'll make sure you got a little bit of money, and then I'll do what you want. But I'll make sure you got a little bit of money and just stick with me and watch what happens. And so the pattern that I saw, it was unbelievable. And so it's turned me around totally with how I do things and how I save money and that kind of thing. Now it's having to adapt to the next level, because what people have to understand. I know we keep saying like us three on the same level, Jagger, a whole nother level. It's levels to this. If you can't accomplish it at the minute level is you can't spend everything you make. That's minute. You gotta break that first, or you never gonna have you ain't gonna have a family. You ain't gonna have nothing. It's just gonna be you by yourself.
Right.
So you gotta conquer it at that level, and then, like I said, it's so now it's another level for us. So I'm having to bring my mind into this next level, but I do know I will end up being okay because I got the glue.
and let me say this too about even starting. That's probably really simple if you can just discipline yourself to do it. And that is, if you do have a job, contribute to your 401k, right? And leave it, because you don't really ever see it, because by the time you get your paycheck, it's already taken out of your paycheck anyway.
Right.
And the beauty of that is, especially if you got younger kids or whatever, you get a child and they're now ready to go to college. If you let that money sit there and you're like, well, dang, I might need, $6,000 to pay for tuition, you can go get it. So if you can't do it where you see it in your savings account every day or in your pocket or in whatever, then at least start with the 401k, because once you start that, you don't miss the money. And every time you get a raise on your job, you should be increasing your 401k money every time.
The contributions.
Every time. And so, we want to talk about how do you start that. You can start there.
I wanted to ask you real quick. You hear all these people come with these math ratios. 20% of your check go here, 10% of your check go there, 5% of your check go here. Everybody has these crazy ratios of how
I need
break down.
100% of my check.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like when they break it down, when they breaking it down, are you breaking it down for your state taxes in New York compared to my state tax in South Carolina? Or are you breaking it down because you eat nothing but chips and ramen noodles every day? And I like when they give these numbers, are they doing it just to sell views? Or have you heard of any of these numbers actually working?
No, the numbers work because, well, and remember, there are different places, right? Look, we pay 10% sales tax in Tuscaloosa. 10%.
Where does that money go? Because ain't nothing out there.
They trying to match
There's
God.
no good education.
They trying to match God.
There's no there. Look, I don't know. They just said, look, God get 10, we want 10, right? Because they call it God's country, I guess. 10% sales tax, and they talking about the next election, local state election, is raising it 1%. And I said, listen, that might make me move because all y'all want to do is open up all these state parks around here. The state parks ain't feeding nobody. They're doing nothing for anybody. So, but back to the percentage. Yes, the percentage works when we're trying to, when I say we, because there are charts and all those things, when you're trying to help people understand how they should have a spending plan or a budget, it works. Because regardless of what you think, there's 5 main areas that you need to make sure are paid first. And everybody knows housing, food, your housing, food, medical, transportation, and then my 5th one I always forget. I can't remember. It'll hit me in a minute. But you got, housing, food, all of the, medical. Did I say medical? I meant to say medical already. So what you have to think about is if you have 100%, and you got people out here who go buy houses they really cannot afford. So if you spending 35% of your paycheck, of your 100% of your pie is your rent or mortgage, something is going to fall short because you still got to do food, you still have to do transportation, you still got to do insurance, you still have to do, medical, all of those things. On top of, if you want to get, and we are not even there yet, right? Your first 20% should be put away, whether you pay somebody else 10% and we pay each other 10%, right? So that's 20% right there. You at 80. So if 30 to 35 to 40% is going towards your mortgage or your rent, you broke.
Right.
Or say Jay broke, right? I don't know if y'all saw that thing, but how much Jay broke? Jay
broke.
Jay broke. So you gotta think about, like when my daughter said, "Mom, why we can't get a bigger?" Well, first of all, ain't nobody gonna be here but me and him.
That's it.
And why would I go?
We might downsize.
Yeah, we might be up in efficiency because I want to travel, right? So to me, why would I go buy a big old house? It's just me and him. You got to pay electric bill. Oh, that's what the 5th one is. Utilities. I knew it was gonna come to me. You got to pay electric, water. We pay electric, water, and gas here. On top of our 10% sales tax. So why would I do that when I want to do all these other things? We getting close. I mean, I don't want to work forever. I don't want to work to 65, 68. I don't. Right?
That's real.
So I don't want to put my money, that percentage of my money, in all of these things that mean nothing. So when you look at the percentages, do they all make sense? No, they all don't make sense. But think about trying to keep your housing and those 5 things within those percentages or less, and you are going to live lovely. So it's proven. Does everybody do it? No, they don't. People can tell you that all day. Oh, I put 25% away. Okay, let me see your bank statement.
Right. So I know where you work. You ain't putting 45% of that away.
You can't, and you know where they work and they live, right?
Right.
You know they're not putting 25% away.
Right. Now, man, look, this has been an eye-opening show on a couple of different levels, just to see how y'all worked it out, and coming from different backgrounds and different ideologies. And the one thing that stands out more than anything is trust.
Mm-hmm.
And that's trusting both of y'all. Trust
Right.
that he would get it right, and trust that you would believe in her. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's super kudos to y'all on that. And just for the average person, for the people that you really talking to check struggling people, they need to be able to hear that nobody starts at the top.
Nobody. Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Or the people that start at the top, they just not in. Those are your crafts
Right.
and
Right.
Honeywells and those
Right.
people with those names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
But
they
if,
struggle,
Yeah,
but
because
you got to remember they're struggling too, in a different way.
To be honest, because it's funny you said that, because this is probably the best that we've ever done
right.
since we've been here. Now I'm saying us together.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm and it just comes from, like you said, just trusting her advice and what she's saying, what she was saying, before we ever got here. She knew before we ever got here. Listen, if you just follow me on this, I know you can't see it because you don't even know where the world we going.
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
so yeah, it's a journey, man. And like I said, you have to be, like you said, you have to be willing to
Sacrifice.
sacrifice, swallow your pride,
Discipline.
give a little, take a, give a little, take a little, and it's a common, it's like a common, it's a happy medium.
Right. And picking your wins, like you said, you want to do everything, but you gotta take certain things out of the list. I can't do this. I can't do this. I might be able to do this, and I definitely want to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we all just want what we want. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is save $2,800, and I can go to Vegas for a week. And then you don't think about the ramifications or the aftermath of that Vegas trip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How much farther than the week you spent that's going to affect you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, the fact that you are able to break these things down and give us, terminology, definitions that a lot of people just don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's up to all of us. This show is about us trying to convey to the community that, like, you're not by yourself.
Right.
And let's stop a lot of the rhetoric that we hear, that we can't trust each other, that we can't work together, and all of that other stuff, man.
Right.
Because I really feel like, and I'm like you, Jackie, I don't like to get on my soapbox, but that is by design. It's not an accident
That's
that
right.
our percentage of people in this country struggle the way that we do.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
But you also have to take that baggage off and turn it on them. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
Right.
I thank y'all both immensely for coming through under duress. I know y'all had a really rough week. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to hold y'all all night.
It was all
But you have given us a wealth of knowledge in this last hour, man. You got anything to say, Carolina?
No, I appreciate both of them coming on here though. Like it was a dope episode.
Sure,
like just hearing. Like sometimes you just got to hear other people's stories. Not always about talking. It's just about listening to other people's stories just to make you feel better. Like that's part of mental health. Like everybody think they're going through something by themselves. And even though we can see it on the news of the crisis and the home and the commercial business, you don't want to get into the commercial businesses. Like, but the fact that we can sit here and look at two other people that's like, I ain't by myself, or
and that's why we're so
I can't
transparent.
ask. Yeah.
That's why we're so transparent, because I believe that people, even we marriage counsel and things that we do through ministry, we are so transparent because people, they look at us and they're like, oh, not y'all. And I'm like, girl, look, Just last night, I was about to say, "You best to get out of here." You know what I'm saying? You gotta be. Look, it ain't.
I'm still here.
He said, "I'm still here."
Right? He was like, "Jesus," you know. But I will say this to y'all because I know that you all have a really good following, and I don't know what y'all have there directly in your city, because you know sometimes in your city people don't always want to follow you as much as other people. But if you ever need me to come to South Carolina and we do some type of financial wellness seminar or anything, I will be more than happy to do that for you guys. You know, I don't know, local churches or whatever, you put something together. I would be more than happy to do that. Because this is what I love to do. I can talk about this between that and marriage and trying to make it work and blended family. I mean, and this is just a start, because I wanted him to come on. I know we're about to wrap up, but because I keep wanting to do my podcast, and then I keep telling myself nobody's gonna listen, right? And so, you know, just know that I'm here. So if y'all need me, I'll be more than happy to do it.
What I will say about your podcast is,
Derek need a new reason for outfit anyway. Derek, go ahead and go say,
I need a new outfit.
no. What I would say about your podcast is, if it's on your heart and mind, it don't matter who listening at first.
Right.
You give and you give and you give until you get tired of giving. Me and my brother not making money off of this. We still got lives to lead outside of this. It's not as big as we want it to be, but also this is a way for me and him to connect. Yeah. We had never done anything besides be brothers up until we started this podcast.
Right.
So I get on him sometimes like, bro, we doing this twice a week, bro. I got stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? And every time that I get on, whether I'm reluctant or tired or whatever, we deliver something. And I feel right. I feel something inside myself that it wasn't just an hour of us clowning and samboing. We actually came out here and we gave people something that they probably need.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation outside of this right here. I'm telling
you. Your invitation is the same as Jackie's invitation at this point, Derek. I don't know what you thought it was going to be or how you feel about it now, but you're welcome to come on together or solo and just have those conversations. That's what we about. We about conversations in the time and just showing the world that there are regular black people out here that do care about themselves and they care about the other people that they here with.
That's right. That's what's up.
That's good. Good.
That's what's up.
Well, thank you guys.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. No, you know, we got to get you a little solo on the way out. You can talk about your social media, what you got going on, and just let the people know.
Yeah, sure. Well, again, thank you all so much. Jackie J, you can follow me on Facebook. It is either Jackie Johnson, and it's spelled JACQUIE Johnson on Facebook, and then also on Instagram. And I probably have some other platforms that I don't look into as much, but also email Jackie, JACQUIE at Jackie, JACQUIEJ .net, and it's NET. So it's Jackie at JackieJ.net. I would love to have you all reach out to me, ask me questions. We can set up one-on-ones, do whatever we need to do. And again, we can speak from finances, we can speak from family, or we can speak from faith with my husband, Derek, and I.
Absolutely, man. Look, y'all fit beautifully in that little square. Y'all was jockeying for position earlier. Y'all look good together, man. Carolina, what you gonna tell the people?
Appreciate it.
I appreciate Jackie coming on here. Like, she's been on here several times. And I asked her to come back. She always like, yeah, I'll come back. She was supposed to come back last week, didn't come back, but came back this week. And she wanted to invite her husband. This has been a very, very, very dope episode. Very educational. Like my brother said, sometimes we be on here cracking jokes and drinking and having a blast. And this one was very educational. Like every episode, we offer some type of education. This one was just the whole entire episode with education. So if you get anything out of it, from me, one is effort. and two is like believe you really can do it. Like as hard as it get, believe that you can do it. And she said you can start as simple as like $5. Like if you can just save $5, that's just $5 you saved water before. And next time we had Garrett the therapist. He said after 21 days it's a habit. So if you can save $5 21 times, then that becomes a habit and you can grow that. So like I said, what I got from here is effort. Like just admit that you don't know something and just give the effort in achieving your goals. I mean, you may not succeed, but just give the effort to know you actually tried instead of just being like, man, I ain't gonna worry about it. Man, I get paid next week. I know that stuff run out. And like you said, the economy's gonna get worse. Just remember the economy is about to get worse.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Well, where's your silver lining? That's how you gonna end it? It's just gonna get worse. You're gonna be out here hunting. No,
Oh my bad.
no, it's real, man. Like you say, if you stay ready, you won't have to get ready, and all that good cliche
Yeah,
that we talk
you.
about. You know, no, I mean, I'm just being real. Like, take the time while you in the storm. Like you broke anyway. Like when you don't have, it's so crazy that when you don't have no money, you manage to survive, and you have a little bit of money, and you feel the need to spend it. And I'm guilty of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's for another episode. We definitely gonna have y'all back, man. Look, this is the Bottom of the Bottle Show. Special thanks to Derek and Jackie. Special thanks to my brother. Until the next time, everybody be easy. And yeah, just do that. Love the ones who love you back.
That's it.
That's it.